Anybody show up yet?
Two viewers, no comments.
Okay.
Whoops. Phyllis Fula is here. Hello, she says.
Hello, Phyllis.
Hello, Phyllis.
Thanks for coming back.
Welcome, welcome.
It's great to see you.
Jerry Burgess Jr.
Hey, Jerry.
Hello, my friends. I made it. Yes.
All right.
It's good to have you.
Good man.
And Ivan Stiles.
Hello,
Hi,
Ivan.
Lynn and George, looking forward to today's concert.
Oh, so are we. We are very lucky to be here
Yeah.
with all the storms and things we had last night. Real bad one passed just north of us.
Just a few miles.
Just a few
north.
miles north, not far away at all.
Yeah.
19 dead in Mississippi. We lost power all night.
Yeah.
Sitting around our TV set, gulping information, and then the power went out.
It went out. It was quite a wind.
And the internet went out, and we had, real high winds.
The winds roared. I mean, it was actually roaring out there. Part of it, like George was telling me, that we don't have all the leaves on the trees yet. Lavanda's here.
Hey, Lavanda.
I made it too, she said. Welcome, all of you.
Great to see you, Lavanda.
Yes,
And Heather, if she's around.
definitely. Ivan said, dreary, rainy day here. You must have sent all that weather up here.
Sorry about that.
It's possible it did drift up that way.
Had to send it somewhere.
I think my sister, who lives in Ohio, said they got quite a bit of rain, so she's probably the culprit.
Yeah, blame it on Nan.
Blame it on Nan.
She isn't here to defend
That's
herself,
right.
see. Hope she comes. We're going to play one of her favorite songs later on.
I hope she does too. I mentioned to her, but I don't know what she has on for today. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we might as well.
Well, we are celebrating today
Yeah.
because this is our fourth anniversary.
Our fourth birthday was yesterday.
Yes. Well, it's very close.
4 years ago, yesterday, we did our first one of these things. And some 79 shows later, here we are.
Here we are still.
Still.
Phyllis said, yucky here too.
Oh.
Very windy and wet in Rochester, New York.
Oh, dear.
So some of that stuff went that direction.
Yeah. So, to commemorate this auspicious event, we're going to play some of the songs that we've played through the years. Favorites of ours that we've played, some of them from the very first few shows and then, on up through. Not in any particular chronological order, but that's what we're doing. And I am playing without picks today.
Yes, that's why you said bare nails.
Bare Nails' birthday. I'm playing with bare nails. I had cut my nails and filed them real short to use picks. They've grown out just a little bit. And I found when I was practicing the other day that it actually sounded pretty good. So, and I have a problem with my right thumb. I had a hangnail and it got infected, and my thumb was really, really sore. I couldn't really wear a thumb pick. So I just decided to give it all a rest.
Ivan said, Lynn, move your mic closer to you, can hardly hear you, and George sounds fine. So.
Yeah, move your mic closer.
Okay.
If you can.
Let's see if this works better.
You want it right up under your chin.
Yeah. I hope this sounds better. Let me know, Ivan. I also may not have been speaking up enough. I hope I sound better. Because
I can get the headphones out and
well,
then I have to take off my hat. I don't think I want to do that. Anyway, let us know, Ivan, if you
Yeah,
would. We're trying a new microphone placement because Lynn, the way we had the mic placed before, when she'd turn to look at me, she'd fade out.
Raise the mic up to your mouth. You're still soft. I was trying. Okay. And Phyllis says, sounds good for me. Let's see. Which one of these? Oh, I see. Let's just move it this way. Okay. Now, that should sound better. Jerry says, sounds good on my end. Okay.
Okay. Well,
So, I hope this works.
so we'll kick off with.
Ivan says, yes, exclamation point.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Good deal.
And thank you for letting me know.
Yeah. That's what friends do.
Yes.
Okay. This song I used to open all my performances with, although I didn't really have very many performances.
Lavonda said, you both sound good to me.
Okay, good. This one was written and recorded by Dick Feller. I'm going to play it in F, and it's called Uncle Hiram and the Homemade Beer. Well, I was just a boy at the time when this drinking Uncle Hiram of mine decided he'd make up a batch of homemade beer. Don't tell a soul, he said to me, but I've come across this recipe that says for pennies a day I can drink all year. So I searched the alleys behind the bars for empty jugs and mason jars, and we sneaked him down to his basement brewery. He measured out yeast and sugar and hops, and he said to me as we sealed the tops, for goodness sake, don't tell your Aunt Marie. She'd say, hey there, Hiram, what's going on down there? There's some peculiar odor coming up the basement stairs. Go on back to your sewing, hun, I'm varnishing a chair. The time my Uncle Hiram made his famous homemade beer. Oh, we let her sit for a month or so, and me and Uncle sneaked down below, figuring it was about time to give it a try. I was standing there at the foot of the stairs, and Uncle Hiram was checking the wares, and all of a sudden 2 bottles just blew sky high. Well, the jars went crash, and the lids went thunk. Hiram died behind the trunk as the beer began to spew out on the floor. Uncle yelled, don't mind me, save yourself. As fast as I could, I ran up the steps, and out of breath, I quickly closed the door. Aunt Marie said, what is it, dear? And I said, it's Uncle's homemade beer. It's blowing up and got Uncle trapped down there. She said, beer, beer, I declare. Hiram, you come up out of there. For the sound of exploding beer was all we could hear. Hey there, Hiram, what's going on down there? There's some peculiar odor coming up the basement stairs. Go on back to your sewing, hon, I'm varnishing a chair. The time my Uncle Hiram made his famous homemade beer. It sounded like a war for a day and a night. Them bottles just blew up left and right till finally we just heard one here and there. Aunt Marie took her comforter and holding it up in the front of her, with me behind, we went on down the stairs. Well, the place was a mess, to say the least. The walls were sticky and it smelled like yeast, and the glass and the lids and the beer were all around. It had been quite a battle, there weren't no doubt, but when we commenced to look about, Uncle Hiram was nowhere to be found. Auntie cried out, Hiram, oh poor dear, he's been killed by a jar of beer. I warned him a drink, but he never listens to me. Then up popped the lid on the antique trunk, and there, soaked in beer, blind running drunk, was the late lamented love of Aunt Marie. And he said, rather than see it all go to waste, I figured I might as well give it a little taste. I reckon I tasted about 43 jars of beer. Y'all just go on, 'cause I'm staying right down here. Hey there, Hiram, what's going on down there? There's some curator coming up the basement stairs. Go on back to your sewing, hon, I'm Barney in a chair. The time my Uncle Hiram made his famous homemade beer.
Yeah. Stan Johnson is with us.
Hello, Stan.
Hello, Stan.
And Nancy?
Sandy,
rather?
yes.
Yeah.
Hello from a very windy northwest Ohio.
Oh, my.
After losing power twice for a week each time, I said enough of that and had a home generator installed about 3 years ago.
I wish I could afford one.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
We weren't inconvenienced too long, but still, it can get that way. We know, we saw that.
Oh, yeah, in 2011, when
Yeah.
those hit,
Oh,
we were
we were-
without power for like 9 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that groaning moaning is Sadie.
That's our Sadie Great Dane dog,
She's talking to us.
who is luxuriating on a piece of furniture that's in here.
Yes,
And
up on the furniture.
She's, because Indy's in his crate.
Yes, otherwise.
Otherwise, he would be playing with her and making all sorts of noise. All right, here's a Ray Stevens tune.
Hey, Dan, Southeast Michigan checking in.
Hey, Dan, good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Good to
Yeah,
have you. Welcome, welcome.
playing a lot of favorites today. Sure glad you made it, and I hope you got your printer problem fixed. That was weird. Okay, let's see here. Ray Stevens did this. It's called Power Tools. Now some folks say grown-up men are still just little boys, and really the only difference is the price of our toys. We go for macho symbols like guns and running shoes, pick-up trucks and hunting ducks and putting power tools, power tools, power tools. You just plug them in the wall and think of all you can do. You can plant a garden, fix your car, build a house if you want to, if you got the proper power tool. Hello? 911? Yeah, I was out in the front yard testing out my brand new gas-powered weed whacker there. Somehow or another she got caught on the hammer loop of my big Smith overalls. Yeah, before I could get her shut down, she screwed me plumb 3 foot down the middle of the front yard there. My wife looked out the door and hollered, "Hey, Shorty, as long as you're down there, why don't you check the fescue for aphids?" That woman's a regular comedian. Hardy, har, har. Now, some folks say macho men use tools to compensate for a lack of virility. Well, I thought about that, but wait, there may be some validity in what those people say. In my case, it's the only way I can get outside and play. Boy, I love this stuff. Power tool. Power tool. Just plug them in the wall and think of all you can do. You can plant a garden, fix your car, build a house if you want to, if you got the proper power tool. Hello? Emergency? Yeah, I was out in the garden testing out my brand new direct drive rototiller there. Somehow or another, the rawhide lace on my Red Goose work boots got tangled up in that outboard tiller time. Yeah, before I could get her shut down, she dragged me plumb across the front yard and up under my neighbor's Toyota's 4x4. My wife looked out the door and hollered, "Hey, Shorty!" Funny how a name will stick with you like that. "Hey, Shorty, as long as you're going to be playing Mr. Goodrich, it seems like you work on our old jalopy first." That woman's a regular Roseanne Barr. Now 911 rescued me and carried me away to the local hospital for at least a 2-week stay. The doctor said, I hope you learned your lesson. Thanks to power tools, you're nearly dead. I didn't hear a word he was saying. I was playing with my power bed. Power tools. Power tools. Hello? Nurse's station? Yeah, send somebody up to room 304, quick. Yeah, my power bed's stuck in an upright position. I'm folded up in here like a big old taco. Whoa, if you got the proper power tools.
Oh, that poor guy. But I love his wife, Shorty.
Yeah.
We have Ginny Lee Berger.
Hello,
And
Ginny.
she says, hey, sorry I'm a little late and looking forward to the music. And Dan says, Dan and Linda both here for a bit.
Hey,
Very
good. Well, I'm glad
Good
you
to
could
have-
spend a few minutes with us this afternoon.
Yes, and Deborah Lynn Brace McInnes
Hello,
is
Debbie.
with us and with a hello hand or a high hand and a
My goodness.
avatar. And Philippa is with us. Hi,
Hey,
guys,
Philippa.
with a smile face.
Yeah, we're all still here.
We are. Oh,
It's kind of a rough night, but we got lucky.
barely. Man,
Um,
some people didn't. A lot of people didn't. So,
All right, here's another song that was written by Dick Feller and recorded by Roger Miller, of all people. It's called The Day I Jumped from Uncle Harvey's Plane. Me and Oliver and Virgil was in the drugstore killing time when my eyes fell upon this magazine. And I got to reading this article on skydiving and parachutes. Said jumping out of airplanes is the thing. Now being raised down on the farm and always ready for adventure, I knew that I could figure out a way. I said, well, Delmer Gill's got a parachute, Uncle Harvey's got an airplane, so I said, call the boys together, today's the day. Well, I found out too late that what Harvey called an airplane was nothing but an engine and a wing. And I could feel my fear rising as Delmer packed the parachute. He kept telling me I was doing the right thing. Ron McLaughlin shook my hand as J.D. strapped me in that harness, and Tilden brought a jug and passed it around. I took one look at that parachute and that whiskey and that airplane, then I turned that bottle up and drank it down. Well, I was drunker than Cooter Jones when they poured me in that plane. The engine coughed and headed for the clouds. But I was sober as a judge when Harvey opened up the door, and I've never known my heart to beat so loud. I said, Harvey, I can't do it, as he kicked me out the door, and I wrapped my hands around the landing gear. And I was holding on real good till Harvey stepped upon my fingers, and the boys all heard me scream from way down there. Well, I thank God and Delmer Gill when my parachute finally opened. I said, hell, there ain't no use in being afraid. And I went crashing through the hen house, scattering chickens and breaking eggs, and I kissed the ground and fainted dead away. Well, now, friends, I fought some battles, been shot at once or twice, and a damn near been run over by a train. But I cannot remember ever being more afraid than the day I jumped from Uncle Harvey's plane.
oh my. Flip said, yes, I was concerned until all the damage was in Mississippi. Yeah, they had some
it
big
rough.
ones go through there.
Yeah.
And Mike Mueller is with us.
Hello, Mike.
Hi, George and Lynn. And he said, whoops, where that jumped a minute. Send me a friend request for your free reading. You're blessed. That was Jasmine. Oh, somebody to Mike. And also, we have somebody coming in wanting to ignore that person.
Yeah, we don't do readings or psychics or any of those kinds of things. So
No, please take
please
yourself
take that
and
somewhere
remove
else.
yourself from this.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah. I apologize to our viewers.
Well, you know,
We
you never
don't
know.
have any idea why this kind of thing happens, but
Doesn't happen very often.
no. In fact, I don't remember this ever happening.
Call me now for your free reading, and when I get out of jail, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let's see here.
Well, I just want to make sure I didn't miss comments that that person just overran a bunch of stuff.
Well,
Okay, Mike was the one who said, hi, George and Lynn, and then we got all this other stuff.
okay.
Phyllis
right.
said, not your fault. Thank
Right.
you.
Oh, I know that. You know, you never know who will show up. Most of the time, they're good people. And let's don't talk about
And this
it
might
anymore.
be a good person, but that's not appropriate.
that's not-
That's
that's
not appropriate. Mike said, can't they do a reading from jail? I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, I don't know, Mike. There's a thought. You know, maybe Miss Cleo's still raking in the boxes.
Yeah.
Hard to tell. Anyway, Mike, who is the esteemed founder and director of the California Auto Harp Gathering, which is one of the best times you'll ever have if you love auto harps and auto harp music and everything. I went to the 2021 gathering. Mike was kind enough to invite me to perform out there, and it just was unforgettably cool. And it's held at the beautiful St. Nicholas Ranch, about 45 minutes outside of Sacramento, California. Beautiful ride up there. So if you can get there in the middle of May, by all means, give it a try.
Definitely worth it.
Okay, well, this is our first duet,
Ah, yes.
attributed to Randy Sparks and sung
Mike
by
said
the...
Fresno!
Oh, Fresno! My apologies. I knew that. Jeez.
Well, we're a little tired.
Yeah. Well, I'm very sleep deprived anyway. I'm not making excuses, but I've been up with my guide dog just about every night this week. He's very sick.
Yeah.
Okay. This is called Today. Written supposedly by Randy Sparks and sung by the New Christy Minstrels.
Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. Oh, I'll be a dandy and I'll be a rover. You'll know who I am by the songs that I sing. I'll feast at your table, I'll sleep in your clover. Who cares what tomorrow shall bring? Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows shall all Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. Nan is here. Hi, good
Hey,
to
Nan,
see you.
good to see you.
And Ivan says, I know, Lynn, it's hard to get good accompaniment these days.
Hey.
He's good. He's pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's been an interesting week. Here's another Ray Stevens. I think it was written by Buddy Kelb, but I'm not sure. It's called Too Drunk to Fish. Now me and Harold, this buddy of mine, decided we'd go fishing one time, so we drove to the lake with my brand new bass boat. I brought the fishing poles, the pork and beans, the saltine crackers and the canned sardines, and Harold brought all the booze one man could tote. Well, I loaded the boat and filled the tank and tried to get that motor to crank. Harold just sat there sipping on a long neck beer. While I was steering the boat and tying the plugs, he was drinking moonshine straight from the jug, and he was singing Melancholy Baby when we left the pier. Never go fishing with a man who has been drinking, 'cause things just might not work out like you wish. Just leave that fool at home to drink, you'll be just as happy fishing in the kitchen sink. Don't go near the water with a man too drunk to fish. Well, I was concentrating, perfecting my cast, hoping to land a trophy bass, and Harold was having trouble trying to find the lake. Laying there beside him at his feet was an anchor line coiled up real neat. Harold saw it, went white as a ghost, and hollered, "Snake!" Well, he jumped straight up and started to yell. I said, "Sit down, Harold, and behave yourself. Can't you see that ain't nothing but a piece of rope?" Well, he was scared to death, plumb out of his mind, trying not to get bit by that anchor line, and he grabbed my shotgun and blew a hole in the bottom of the boat. Harold, never go fishing with a man who has been drinking, 'cause things just might not work out like you wish. Just leave that fool at home to drink, he'll be just as happy fishing in the kitchen sink. Don't go near the water with a man too drunk to fish. Now, too drunk to fish is too drunk to swim, so I was dog paddling and dragging him, and finally made it to a little sandbar just big enough for two. And it was way after dark when that helicopter came with that big searchlight and calling our names, and Harold looked up to the sky and said, "Lord, is that you?" And then he knelt there in that heavenly glow and said, "Lord, you know, I ain't ready to go, so if you pass me by tonight, oh, I will reform." Then they threw down a raft and I paddled us home. He never touched a drop from that moment on. You know, the Lord works in mysterious ways, his miracles to perform. Never go fishing with a man who has been drinking, 'cause things just might not work out like you wish. Just leave that fool at home to drink, he'll be just as happy fishing in the kitchen sink. Don't go near the water with a man too drunk to fish. Oh, don't go near the water with a man too drunk to fish.
I love that thing. We had some nice compliments. And Phyllis Gula said that was beautiful about the today.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
Stan Johnson said, very nice, Lynn. And Lavonda said, I love when you guys sing together. And Ivan said, love your voice, Lynn. And I want to thank you guys. I enjoy doing that. So I'm hoping to do more of it.
Yeah.
There for a while, I was down, I had a real bad cough and getting over that bug, and I couldn't get my voice to come back. But it's coming back better now. I was way too low, down in the basement or something. Couldn't get the upper register. Well.
This song is another one done by the New Christie Minstrels. And it's called Billy's Mule. Billy's mule can tote a wagon, he can pull a plow. He can figure arithmetic and milk a muley cow. Don't need no education, ain't never been to school. But anything worth doing can be done by Billy's mule. I had a date the other night with good old Sally Brown. I took her to the dog fight on the other side of town. I noticed when I kissed her, she was acting kinda cool. She said I get more pleasure out of kissing Billy's mule. Billy's mule can tote a wagon, he can pull a plow. He can figure arithmetic and milk a muley cow. Don't need no education, ain't never been to school. But anything worth doing can be done by Billy's mule. There's a talking mule named Francis in the magazines I've read. I mentioned him to Billy's mule, and this is what he said. Yeah, he's mighty highfalutin in them fancy picture shows. But he's me younger brother, and I taught him all he knows. Billy's mule can tote a wagon, he can pull a plow. He can figure arithmetic and milk a muley cow. Don't need no education, ain't never been to school. But anything worth doing can be done by Billy's mule. A talent scout from Hollywood came into town one day. He said, I'll make you famous if you'll learn to sing and play. But Billy's mule just laughed and said, I don't want to be a star. But who do you think taught Elvis how to play the old guitar? Oh yeah. Well, I get so mad when I draw my pay and all my money's spent. I called up the White House and I told the president, if you don't cut out this income tax, you ain't no friend of mine. He said, I'll check with Billy's mule, he's on the other line. Billy's mule can tote a wagon, he can pull a plow. He can figure arithmetic and milk a muley cow. Don't need no education, ain't never been to school. But anything worth doing can be done by Billy's mule. Yeah, anything worth doing can be done by Billy's mule.
Wow. We have J.H.H. Loengard with us. Nice to hear you, Lynn and George.
Oh, nice to see you.
I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Loengard. Sounds right.
Yeah, well, that's the way my screen reader pronounces it, but then my screen reader has a mind of its own.
Oh, yes. A certain accent sometimes.
Yeah.
Nothing like.
Anyway, it's great to see
Yes,
you.
welcome to our
By all
show.
means.
To our virtual back porch. We're back out on the back porch.
We're back out on the back porch.
Because the weather has,
Weather's
other
warming
than
up.
the wind, last night we weren't on the back porch,
No,
but
we
today
weren't.
we are. It's nice.
We're
It's nice and warm today. And
taking our
beautiful.
tornado safety precautions.
Oh, man.
And Sadie was literally taking her tornado
Oh.
safety precautions. She was trying to get into the bathtub.
Yes, well, somebody said that's where to go, and Sadie must have heard
Sadie,
it. That's where she
Sadie
thought she should
understands
be.
a lot more English than we
I
thought.
think so.
Here's a song that was done by Marty Robbins on his Gunfighter Ballads album, and it's called The Master's Call. When I was but a young man, I was wild and full of fire. A youth within my teens, but full of challenge and desire. I ran away from home and left my mother and my dad. I know it grieved them so to think their own love was bad. I fell in with an outlaw band, their names were known quite well. How many times we robbed and plundered I could never tell. This kind of sinful living leads only to a fall. I learned that much and more the night I heard my master's call. One night we rustled cattle, 1,000 head or so, and started them out on the trail that leads to Mexico. But a norther started blowing and lightning flashed about. I thought someone was calling me, I thought I heard a shout. Then at that moment lightning struck not 20 yards from me, and left there was a giant cross where once there was a tree. And this time I knew I'd heard a voice so sweet and strange, a voice that came from everywhere, a voice that called my name. So frightened I was thinking of sinful deeds I'd done. I failed to see the 1,000 head of cattle start to run. The cattle they'd stampeded were running all around. My pony ran but stumbled and threw me to the ground. I felt the end was near, that death would be the price, when a mighty bolt of lightning showed the face of Jesus Christ. And I cried, oh Lord, forgive me, don't let it happen now. I want to live for you alone, oh God, these words I vow. My wicked past unfolded, I thought of wasted years, when another bolt of lightning killed 100 head of steers. And the others rushed on by me, and I was left to live. The Master has a reason life is his to take or give. A miracle performed that night, I wasn't meant to die. The dead ones formed a barricade at least 6 or 7 high, and right behind it there was I, afraid but safe and sound. I cried and begged for mercy, kneeling there upon the ground. A pardon I was granted, my sinful soul set free. No more to fear the angry waves upon life's stormy sea. Forgiven by the love of God, a love that will remain. I gave my life and soul the night the Savior called my name.
Wow, that's a powerful song.
Yeah, I like that song.
I do too.
Okay, and we'll go from that worshipful payment of homage to God to a totally irreverent song.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Written and recorded by Haywood Banks.
Philippa said, nice one. Thank you.
Thank you, Philippa.
Yes. This is Haywood, is it? Haywood
Yes,
Banks.
indeed.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
In southern Ohio, just north of Cincinnati, I beheld a vision next to the expressway. It was a 60-foot Jesus with his hands in the air. Looked like he's carved out of butter, just like at the state fair.
Big butter Jesus, sweet cream Jesus, oh country fresh Jesus, unsalted Jesus, oh promise Jesus, imperial Jesus, can't believe it's not Jesus, holy oh Lord.
Well, you see him from his chest up, like he's about to do a backflip, or maybe scored a touchdown, or maybe melting or about to drown. You know, I've been to the state fair, seen a cow made out of corn cobs, Stephen Hawking out of string cheese, and the Virgin out of olives.
Big butter Jesus, sweet cream Jesus, Oh, country fresh Jesus, unsalted Jesus. Oh, promised Jesus, imperial Jesus. Can't believe it's not Jesus, holy, oh Lord.
Shipped in pieces on a flatbed, staring backwards was his big head. Driver stuck in traffic back up, desperately avoiding eye contact. Well, don't you make no graven images. I think it's one of the 10 Commandments. I hope the grading curve is kindly. You get in heaven for it with a 90.
Big butter Jesus, sweet cream Jesus. Oh, country fresh Jesus, unsalted Jesus. Oh, promised Jesus, imperial Jesus. Can't believe it's not Jesus, holy, oh Lord.
One night Big Butter got struck by lightning, and it burned to its frame wire in a giant grease fire. Some blamed it on Satan. Boy, that would be frightening. But I thought it was Jesus' Father who was in charge of lightning.
Big fireball Jesus, extremely flammable Jesus. Charbroiled Jesus, whoop-bye Jesus, extra crispy Jesus, bananas Foster Jesus. I'm put out but not Jesus, holy oh Lord. I'm put out but not Jesus, charcoaly s'mores. Oh dear. Becky's here. Becky Sims.
Hey, Beck.
She said, I know this statue.
Yeah, it really exists, guys.
It did. This is a real deal.
Well, they rebuilt it.
Yeah, did they?
Yeah,
After it burned to the frame?
After it burned to its frame wire, they rebuilt it, and he now has a lightning rod up his back. So,
Well,
and-
you had to do something, right?
and fire suppression equipment stored in his pedestal, I believe.
There you go.
And so,
Flip said music and faces aren't synced on that particular song. so.
sorry about that. That's the internet. There's
Yeah.
not really
And,
much we can.
JHH said, that's a lot of lyrics to remember. Great job.
Thank you.
And Phyllis Gula said, what was that song called?
Big Butter.
Big Butter Jesus.
No,
Big
Big
it's
Butter.
Called Big Butter.
It's just called Big
and
Butter.
by Haywood Banks.
Haywood Banks. You can find it on YouTube with a whole lot of his other ones.
Yeah, Haywood is so entertaining. He's something else.
He's got next to Shel Silverstein, he's got the weirdest sense of humor of anybody I've ever heard in my life.
Yes. I love that thing though, and it's
We might do a tribute to him one of these days.
to Shell or to Haywood.
Well, both.
Well,
not at the same
not at
time,
the same
of course.
time.
So, all right. Here's a song that was written by, or was recorded by Kenny Rogers. I don't know who wrote it. It's called "Somebody Help Me." Morning sunlight through the curtain draws a Rorschach on my wall. Waking up out of sleep, I try unraveling it all. By all rights, I should be dead from this bullet hole in my head. Oddly enough, I seem to be alive. Greatly dismayed, I discover that the feet under the covers with the red toenails can't possibly be mine. Somebody help me. You got to help me. 'Cause wine, too much wine, and a female friend of mine rode a Mustang through my mind last night. was a Saturday, it doesn't matter day. We were drinking at the old dead log. And another with my long-lost brother till the room began to fog. And a fine-looking woman walked by, looked me in the eye, heaved a sigh, and took me by surprise. I said, sit down and take your place. I'm a long-lost brother Ace, who just caved in, passed out on the floor. Won't somebody help me?
You got to help me. 'Cause wine, too much wine, and a female friend of mine drove a Mustang through my mind last night.
Somebody help me.
Won't somebody help me? 'Cause wine, too much wine, and a female friend of mine drove a Mustang through my mind last night. Yeah, I love that song.
That there was spontaneous and unrehearsed.
Yeah, unrehearsed, because I just love that song. I had to join.
That's fine.
Bob Hale is here. Hello,
Hey,
George
Bob
and
and Brennan, how are you?
Good to see you guys. Welcome. We are having a wonderful birthday celebration.
Yes, indeed.
This is the
fourth birthday of Otto Harp down home.
That's right. Yesterday was exactly 4 years, and so we're celebrating today. Bob says, love your harmonies.
Thank you.
That one was like you said, I didn't intend to do that.
That was spontaneous and unrehearsed.
But I love that song.
Yeah.
From the Rorschach through the curtains right on down.
Okay. We're giving the good Lord a hard time today, I guess.
I guess so.
But we all love him. This was written by Buddy Calvin, sung by Ray Stevens. He had a huge hit with this.
Is this the one you said Nan likes a lot?
No.
Nope. Okay.
No.
Hang in there, Nan.
Nan's song is coming up.
Okay.
Later on in the
Sorry
show.
about that.
This is called the Mississippi Squirrel Revival.
Okay. Yes.
Well, when I was a kid, I'd take a trip every summer down to Mississippi to visit my granny in her antebellum world. I'd run barefooted all day long, climbing trees as free as a song. One day, I happened to catch myself a squirrel. I stuffed him down in an old shoebox and punched a couple holes in the top, and when Sunday came, I snuck him into church. I was sitting way back in the very last pew, showing him off to my good buddy Hugh, when that squirrel got loose and went totally berserk. Well, what happened next is hard to tell. Some thought it was heaven, others thought it was hell, but the fact that something was among us was plain to see. As the choir sang I Surrender All, the squirrel ran up Harv Newman's coveralls. Harv leaped to his feet and said, something's got a hold on me. Yow! That day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town past the Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting hallelujah. Well, Harv hit the aisles dancing and screaming. Some thought he had religion, others thought he had a demon, but Harv thought he had a demon loose in his Fruit of the Loom. He fell to his knees to plead and beg, and the squirrel ran out of his breeches leg unobserved to the other side of the room. All the way down to the Amen pew, where sat Sister Bertha Better Than You, who'd been watching all the commotion with sadistic glee. But you should have seen the look in her eyes when that squirrel jumped her garters and crossed her thighs. She jumped to her feet and said, Lord, have mercy on me. As the squirrel made a lapse inside her dress, she began to cry and then to confess the sins that would make a sailor blush with shame. She told of gossip and church dissension, but the thing that got the most attention was when she talked about her love life and started naming names. That day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting hallelujah. Well, 7 deacons and then the pastor got saved, and $25,000 got raised, and 50 volunteered for missions in the Congo on the spot. And even without an invitation, there were at least 500 rededications, and we all got rebaptized whether we needed it or not. Now, you've heard the Bible stories, I guess, of how he parted the waters for Moses to pass, all the miracles God has brought to this old world. But the one I'll remember to my dying day was how he put that church back on the narrow way with a half-crazed Mississippi squirrel. The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting hallelujah. The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting hallelujah.
Nice touch there on the end. Kurt Gleason is with us.
Hey, Kurt.
Kurt says, 4 years, question mark? As my friend the frog says, time's fun when you're having flies.
That's right.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
And Bob had said, love your harmonies, but I didn't know if I had read that.
I believe you did.
I think I did. And Libby is with us.
Hello, Libby.
Nice to see Lynn laughing and smiling. Love the song. Thank you. Well, I'm feeling better these days. I just had gotten down sick there for a while, and my voice just wouldn't come back, and I'm just feeling a lot better.
Yeah, I'm glad you came by. And since we had a Haywood Banks, we got to give equal time
Oh, to Shell?
to Shel Silverstein.
Oh, okay.
Written and recorded by Oh, Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd wash the dishes and scrub the pans, cook the yams and spice the hams, and though her parents would scream and shout, she simply would not take the garbage out. And so it piled up to the ceilings, coffee grounds, potato peelings, brown bananas, rotten peas, chunks of sour cottage cheese. It filled the can, it covered the floor, it cracked the windows and blocked the door with bacon rinds and chicken bones, drippy ends of ice cream cones, prune pits, peach pits, orange peels, floppy glumps of cold oatmeal, pizza crust and withered greens, soggy beans and tangerines, crust of black-burned buttered toast, and gristly bits of beefy roast. The garbage rolled on down the hall. It raised the roof, it broke the wall. I mean, greasy napkins, cookie crumbs, globs of gooey bubble gum, cellophane from old bologna, rubbery blubbery macaroni, peanut butter caked and dry, curdled milk and crust of pie, moldy melons, dried up mustard, eggshells mixed with lemon custard, cold French fries and rancid meat, yellow lumps of cream of wheat. At last, the garbage reached so high that finally it touched the sky, and none of her friends would come to play, and all the neighbors moved away, and finally Sarah Cynthia Stout said, "Okay, I'll take the garbage out." But then, of course, it was too late. The garbage reached across the state, from New York to the Golden Gate, and there in the garbage she did hate, for Sarah met an awful fate, which I cannot right now relate, because the hour is much too late. But she'll remember Sarah Stout, and always take the garbage out.
Ew.
That's disgusting.
That's it. Flip said, computer/Facebook, just quit on me. Anyone else? And I see, Bob said, well done, George. But I don't
Thank you,
see
Bob.
anyone else having an issue right now. At least they haven't spoken up.
Well, I'm afraid it's unique to you. I don't know what's going
Well, I
on.
think there's a lot of weather in New York, according to, who was it that said that?
Ginny.
Ginny. Yeah, she said that windy.
And Flip's got exactly the same weather.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So here's a song that was written by Bill and Taffy Danoff and John Denver. It's called Country Roads. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a weed.
Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads.
All my memories gather round her, miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye.
Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads.
I hear her voice in the morning now. She calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday.
Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Down country roads, take me home. Down country roads. Philip said it's fading in and out, and then Becky said internet is spotty here in Nebraska, but picks up where it let off, so I'm good. And then Lavonda said beautiful to our country roads.
Oh, thanks,
with
Lavonda.
many exclamation points.
And thanks for the reports,
Yes.
Beck. And there were widespread outages all over the place, so.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. What are we doing next? Oh. Here's another one by Dick Feller. Don Bowman did this. Dick Feller did it also. Several other folks. The first person I ever heard do it was Don Bowman. And it's about a device that you don't see too much anymore. They've kind of gone out of favor and out of style. This is called the Coin Machine Song. Now I'm a man who's hard to excite. I'm calm and cool, don't get uptight, but there's one thing that really does get me upset. It's those coin machines, those nickel and dimers, them out of order and work one-timers, no good money-grabbing rip-offs. I mean, you get a case of the late not munchies, you whip out the money for some peanut crunchies, put it in the slot, push the button, and nothing. So you cuss and beat it till your hands turn blue, you push and shove it and kick it with your shoe, and finally you just walk away while it's blinking thank you, which is machine talk for we just stuck it to you, hoss. I'd like to meet the man who invented the coin machine. He must have hated mankind and every other living thing. I bet he had a motto on his wall for prose and rhyme, saying you get nothing for a nickel, twice as much for a dime. They'll offer you soft drinks, cigarettes, cigars, barbecue potato chips, and all kind of candy bars. Peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jack, and Red Hots. You can pay $1 for a quarter comb, get a throwaway razor or a shot of cologne, or a bad shoe shine. Damn thing even polish your socks. But the worst are the ones with the front of glass. You can see what you want, but you can bet your donkey that it's nothing short of a blowtorch going to get anything out of that. And how about them ones on the men's room wall? You know the ones, boys, you've seen them all. When you lose your money in one of them devils, you're too embarrassed to complain, and all you can do is go home by yourself and talk to it. I'd like to meet the man who invented the coin machine. He must have hated mankind and every other living thing. I'll bet he had a motto on his wall in prose and rhyme, saying you get nothing for a nickel, twice as much for a dime. I heard a story about a fellow one time who certainly is a hero of mine. He ranks right up there with John Wayne, Chuck Norris, and Steven Seagal. It seems there was a certain soft drink machine. It was rusty and old, cantankerous and mean. Took his money one too many times and his mind snapped. He went out to his car, reached under the seat, pulled out a 45, clean and neat, walked up to that machine and said, "Hand it over, son, it's your last chance." He shot that machine about 4 or 5 times, right under that blinking "Have a Coke" sign. It coughed up $400 and died. The judge said it was self-defense. I'd like to meet the man who invented the coin machine. He must have hated mankind and every other living thing. I'll bet he had a motto on his wall in prose and rhyme, saying you get nothing for a nickel, twice as much for a dime.
Libby said, Love y'all singing together. So wonderful. And now we have Teresa Chessman. Hi, y'all. Been a long time.
It has been a long
Goodness,
time, Teresa. Good
Teresa.
to have you back.
Yes.
Indeed.
My goodness.
Okay. This song is goes out to all of us silver tops who never quite grew up. It was written and recorded by Todd Schneider, and it's called The Comb Over Blues. When I was a kid, I never thought that I'd end up with what I got. I thought I'd get to keep more than I'd lose. Now this mirror reminds me every day that life may not work out that way. I got the comb over blues. It just blows my mind to hear myself say, God, what's the matter with these kids today? This crap they play's just way too loud and rude. You know that it's true. Rolling a joint used to put me in the mood to come back. Now it makes me think I'm having a heart attack. I got the comb over blues. Oh, the years go by like highway signs. You try and try, you can't make old Mother Nature change her mind. After all these years in traveling bands, backstage beers and rental vans have left me here with all I've got to lose. This aching back, this smoker's cough, this broken heart, and to top it off, these comb over blues. I got the comb over blues.
Goodness. I like that, though. I love the syncopation in the...
Yeah, it's a good song. I heard it on a radio show called Calling All Cowboys.
Oh.
Never knew who did it or anything, but I recorded the show and kept that
Calling
one.
All Cowboys.
Yeah.
Becky, glad to hear at least one of those machines got its comeuppance.
Yes, indeed. God, those
Did
things
feel good. Did feel good.
used to just drive me nuts. But of course, cigarette machines went the way of the dodo, and then, I still see some pop machines outside of like Walmart
pop
and
machines,
stuff,
yeah.
but that's about it. Here's a song about vengeance and justice and stuff. It was recorded by Jim Stafford. It's called Cow Patty. And you can join in on that. I'll tell you when your part comes up. And remember, it's Patty with a T. From the Badlands came the killer. He lived by the knife and the gun. He'd cut you just for staring. Shoot you if you tried to run. He was big as a tree, did as he pleased, and everything he did was bad. And he said it was to kill you, it'd only make him mad. From the good lands came the cowgirl. Patty was her name. She was hot on the trail of that killer. On a moped she called Flame. 'Cause the killer had killed her daddy, just for spitting in the road. They only had to kill her daddy once to get that gal P.O. Yippee-yi-yay, cow patty. Yippee-yi-yay, cow patty. She rode, yeah she did. She rode into town to find the man that killed her daddy. If I can find the note. Yippee-yi-yay, cow patty. The killer hit town at daybreak, ate the door off the local saloon. As he started to drink, you could tell he was thinking there'll be a showdown soon. Patty hit town in a cloud of dust. Old Flame was buzzing like a saw. The whole town got as quiet as a church when the killer stepped out from the door. 40 shots rang out. 40 people fell. Patty and the killer missed each other, but they shot that town to hell. Yippee-yi-yay, cow patty. Yippee-yi-yay, cow patty. She rode into town to find the man that killed her daddy. Yippee-yi-yay, cow patty. Killer took a step toward Patty. Said, "It's time I gun you down." But he slipped in something that was laying in the street and was shot before he hit the ground. Yes, the killer slipped and it cost him his life. And Patty said as she roared out of town, "You've got to watch your step when you know the chips are down." Yippee-yi-yay, cow patty. Yippee-yi-yay, cow patty. She rode into town and shot the man that killed her daddy. Yippee-yi-yay, cow patty. On Flame!
Goodness.
Okay, this one's all yours.
This one's mine.
And
Oh,
go. All right.
oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? Dialing $4 is trying to find me. I'll wait for delivery each day until 3. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? I'm counting on you, Lord, so please don't let me down. Prove that you love me and buy the next round. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? My friends all drive Porsches, I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? I might have messed that last up, but...
Well, Don't feel like the Lone Ranger.
I fixed it.
Yeah, there you go. Don't know who wrote this. John Denver recorded it. It's called Grandma's Feather Bed.
Oh.
When I was a little bitty boy, just up off of the floor, we used to go out to Grandma's house every month or so. We had chicken pie and country ham and homemade butter on the bread. But the best darn thing about Grandma's house was the great big feather bed. It was 9 feet high and 6 feet wide and soft as a downy chick. It was made from the feathers of 4 to 11 geese, took a whole boat of cloth with a tick. And it would hold 8 kids, 4 hound dogs, and a piggy we stole from the shed. We didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. After supper we'd sit around the fire and the old folks would spit and chew. Pa would talk about the farm and the war, and Granny'd sing a ballad or two. I'd sit and listen and watch the fire till the cobwebs filled my head. Next thing I know, I'd wake up in the morning in the middle of the feather bed. It was 9 feet high and 6 feet wide and soft as a downy chick. It was made from the feathers of 4 to 11 geese, took a whole boat of cloth with a tick. It would hold 8 kids, 4 hound dogs, and a piggy we stole from the shed. We didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. Well, I love my mom, love my pa, love Granny and Grandpa too. I've been fishing with my uncle, wrestled with my cousin, I even kissed Aunt Lou. But if I ever had to make a choice, I guess it ought to be said, I'd trade them all, plus a gal down the road for Grandma's feather bed. I'd trade them all, plus a gal down the road. I'd have to reconsider about a gal down the road. It was 9 feet high and 6 feet wide and soft as a downy chick. It was made from the feathers of 4 to 11 geese, took a whole boat of cloth with a tick. It hold 8 kids, 4 hound dogs, and a piggy we stole from the shed. We didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. We didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed.
I love that song. We had a few comments here.
Oh, good.
See if I can go back up a minute. Yes. Let's see. Ivan said, good one, and Teresa
Thank you, Ivan.
said, yay, and I think this may have to do with Mercedes.
Yeah.
And Phyllis, Gula said, loved it, and Bob Hale said, brilliant, Lynn, and Libby said, hoot, 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 yay, Lynn, which I love, and Teresa said, love some Janice, and Ivan says, Janice has entered the building, and Teresa said, oh, one of my favorites, J.D. songs, meaning Feather
John,
Bed.
yeah,
John Denver. And Nan said, nice, Lynn, and then also Nan said, love Grandma's Feather Bed, George. And Phyllis said, you come up with such great songs.
Well,
And
thank you, Phyllis.
You do. That's true.
I scour the world to.
Yes. You know hundreds of songs.
Yeah, we've played. I don't
many?
remember exactly, but it's like
In these 4 years.
in these 4 years we have played. I think it's 870 songs at least once.
Yes. Seems like that. It was over 800.
Yeah,
you
no,
told-
it's pushing 900 now.
My
I think it was 870 last time I looked.
Well, you know a lot of songs.
So some of them are one, we've only played once, and some of them we played a lot of different times.
Teresa said, that's amazing. And
I think if you add up all the songs, we're up around 1,400. But I mean, numbers don't matter as long as people have a good time.
well, that's what we're doing.
That's all that
Always,
matters.
always.
All right. What am I supposed to play next?
This I do not know. He does not always let me know what his
I almost never let you know.
I know. So, I mean, you seldom let me know. Let's try.
Here's a song that was written by Chris Christopherson and sung by John Denver. It's called Casey's Last Ride. Casey joins the hollow sound of silent people walking down the stairway to the subway in the shadows down below, following their footsteps through the neon darkened corridors, silent desperation, never speaking to a soul. The poison air he's breathing has the dirt and smell of dying, 'cause it's never seen the sunshine and it's never felt the rain. But Casey minds the arrows and ignores the fatal echoes of the clicking of the turnstile and the rattle of his chains. Oh, she said, Casey, it's been so long since I've seen you. Here, she said, just a kiss to make a body smile. See, she said, I put on new stockings just to please you. Lord, she said, Casey, can you only stay a while? Casey leaves the underground and stops inside the Golden Crown for something wet to wipe away the chill that's on his bones. Seeing his reflection in the lives of all the lonely men who reach for anything they can to keep from going home. Standing in the corner, Casey drinks his pint of bitter, never glancing in the mirror at the people passing by. And he stumbles as he's leaving, and he wonders if the reason is the beer that's in his belly or the tear that's in his eyes. I suppose you seldom think about me. Now, she said, now that you've a family of your own, still, she said, it's so blessed good to feel your body. Lord, she said, Casey, it's a shame to be alone. Oh, might put on new stockings just to please you. Lord, she said, Casey, can you only stay a while? Lord, she said, Casey, it's a shame to be alone.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Okay, let's see. Here's another Ray Stevens called The Ballad of Jake McCluskey. Every Friday evening when Jake McCluskey finished eating, he'd excuse himself and hurry off to his weekly lodge hall meeting. Till Ethel May, his wife, found out what no one could dispute, that lodge hall was no lodge at all, but a house of ill repute. Now I don't think I've ever seen a woman quite that mad before. She marched right down to that evil place and started kicking in the door. She yelled, I know you're in there, Jake McCluskey, you low-down philandering liar. Then she soaked her down with kerosene and set the whole damn place on fire. Well, the crowd had gathered up outside, but no one moved or spoke, till a trembling voice from deep inside hollered, I smell smoke! Then that whole house started shaking. Folks began to scream and shout. Then the door flew off its hinges, Lord, and folks started spewing out. For the flames of retribution could be seen for miles around. Now there never was so much confusion in a little Georgia town as the day that Ethel May McCluskey burned the lodge hall down. First Judge Oliver Wendell Justice came out running before his life, but he turned and ran back in the flames when he caught sight of his wife. Then self-ordained Elijah Bain, an evangelist of sorts, claims he's down there saving souls in his pinstripe jockey shorts. Aha! Then out came the mayor, and a banker we all knew, the police chief and the sheriff, and a deputy or two. When they asked the sheriff what he was doing in that den of degradation, he said, me and the boys are just carrying out a little undercover investigation. And then the ladies of the evening, clad in just their lingerie, were crying, we've lost everything, how we live, where we stay. Then a lawyer said, well, I'll help you file for welfare so you can eat. And you can all stay out at my place till you can get back off your feet. For the flames of retribution could be seen for miles around. Oh, there never was so much confusion in our little Georgia town as the day that Ethel May McCluskey burned the lodge hall down. Now, where old Jake McCluskey is today is anybody's guess. He came smoking out that back door in a state of complete undress, ran streaking off into the night. No one's seen him since, but I'll always recall how he moved us all when he cleared the backyard fence. For the flames of retribution could be seen for miles around. Yeah, there never was so much confusion in a little Georgia town as the day that Ethel May McCluskey burned the lodge hall down. For the flames of retribution could be seen for miles around. For there never was so much confusion in a little Georgia town as the day that Ethel May McCluskey burned the lodge all down.
Goodness. Livy said, I have a phone call to take with Rita. Looking forward to being with you tonight.
Yes, I will probably be there.
The Song Circle, yes.
Can't say for sure because of Indy, but
Yeah, he's had a rough time. That guy.
okay. Here's a song that was written by Ian Tyson and recorded by Ian and Sylvia and the Chad Mitchell Trio and Bob and Dave and Carol and Ted and Alice and a host of others.
It's a good song.
That's right.
That's right.
It's called Four Strong Winds.
Four strong winds that blow lonely, seven seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may. But our good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way.
Think I'll go out to Alberta. Weather's good there in the fall. Got some friends that I can go to working for. Still, I wish you'd change your mind if I ask you one more time. But we've been through that 100 times more.
Four strong winds that blow lonely, seven seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may. But our good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way.
If I get there for the snowflies, and if things are looking good, you could meet me if I sent you down the fair. But by then it would be winter, not too much for you to do, and the wind it sure blows cold way out there.
Four strong winds that blow lonely, seven seas that blow hard on high, all those things that don't change, come what may. But our good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. Becky said, this is beautiful, but I have to head out. Thanks for a great time.
Oh, thanks for dropping by, Beck. I really am glad you did, and I'm glad you had a good time. And
Oh, me too. I
all
shouldn't
our
have tried
best to you and your family and the
Definitely.
recent arrivals and all of that. Have a great day.
I shouldn't have tried to read her comment and sing at the same time, but I was surprised that she was leaving. Not that that's a bad thing, but it startled me, you know.
Yeah.
When people do, I'm like, oh, you've got to go. So I want to read it and make sure I'm not missing something important. But that's not good when you're trying to sing.
No, it's not.
I goofed it all
Okay,
up.
Nan, here's your song.
Oh, I had one more.
Oh, okay.
Ivan said, played right along with you on Four Strong Winds.
Oh, thank
I
you.
wish we could have heard that because it would have been beautiful.
I must confess to my guilt in doing the same kinds of things with a lot of the songs you do.
Yep.
Pretend I'm right there. Okay. This song it might have been a Dick Feller. I don't know who wrote it. John Denver recorded it. It's called Forest Lawn.
Oh,
Oh, lay me down in forest lawn in silver casket, with golden flowers over my head in a silver basket. Let the drummer bugle corps play taps while the cannons roar, and 16 liveried employees sell souvenirs from the funeral store. I want to go simply when I go. They'll give me a simple funeral there, I know. With a casket lined in fleece and fireworks spelling out rest in peace. So take me when I'm gone to Forest Lawn. Oh, lay me down in Forest Lawn, they understand there. They have a heavenly choir and a military band there. Just put me in their care, I'll find my comfort there, find my comfort there. With 16 planes and a last salute, they'll drop across in a parachute. I want to go simply when I go. They'll give me a simple funeral there, I know. With 100 scrolling strings and topless dancers with golden wings. Oh, take me when I'm gone, Forest Lawn. Oh, come to the church in the wildwood. Kindly leave a contribution in the pail. Be as simple and as trusting as a child would, and we'll sell you the church in the dale. To find a simple resting place is my desire, to lay me down with a smiling face from a little bit higher. My likeness cast in brass will stand in plastic grass, while hidden waits and springs tip its hat to the mourners filing past. I want to go simply when I go. They'll give me a simple funeral there, I know. I'll lie beneath the stand with piped-in tapes of Billy Graham. Oh, take me when I'm gone to Forest Lawn. Rock of Ages, cleft for me, for a slightly higher fee. Oh, take me when I'm gone to Forest Lawn. Amen.
Nan said, love this one too. Oh, yes.
Here's one that was written and recorded by Tom Paxton and recorded by another host of thousands. It's called The Marvelous Toy. When I was just a wee little lad, full of health and joy, my father homeward came one night and gave to me a toy. A wonder to behold it was, with many colors bright. And the moment I laid eyes on it, it became my heart's delight. It went zip when it moved, pop when it stopped, whirr when it stood still. I never knew just what it was, and I guess I never will. The first time that I picked it up, I had a big surprise. For right on its bottom were two big buttons that looked like big green eyes. I first pushed one, then the other, then I twisted its lid. And when I set it down again, here is what it did. It went zip when it moved, pop when it stopped, whirr when it stood still. I never knew just what it was, and I guess I never will. It first marched left, then marched right, then marched under a chair. And when I looked where it had gone, it wasn't even there. I started to cry, and my daddy laughed, for he knew would find. When I turned around, my marvelous toy chugging from behind. It went zip when it moved, pop when it stopped, brrr when it stood still. I never knew just what it was, and I guess I never will. Now the years have gone by too quickly, it seems. I have my own little boy. And yesterday I gave to him my marvelous little toy. His eyes nearly popped right out of his head. He gave a squeal of glee. Neither one of us knows just what it is, but he loves it just like me. It still goes zip when it moves, pop when it stops, brrr when it stands still. I never knew just what it was, and I guess I never will. I never knew just what it was, and I guess I never will.
Flip said longtime favorite on the feather bed one, I think, and Teresa put several laughing, crying faces. And then in the next comment said, it's been a long time since I've heard this one, meaning the marvelous toy.
Uh-huh.
And she also said, okay, this is going to be an earworm for the day. It's going to get stuck.
Oh dear. Well,
Oh,
we'll
dear.
see if we can do something about that.
Yes.
We have a couple more bites at the apple here
Yeah.
to get rid of the worm.
Oh, but that's such a catchy tune, and that's what Tom does.
Yeah.
He can have the most tragic set of circumstances to a little catchy tune,
Yeah.
and
Like,
it'll stick.
in 10 years we're gonna have 1 million lawyers.
That's Tom
1
too.
million lawyers. 1 million lawyers. In 10 years we're gonna have 1 million lawyers. How much can a poor nation stand? Yeah, that's
Oh, Flip corrected me. It was Forest Lawn.
Forest Lawn. Yeah.
Sorry about that, Flip. Yeah.
Little. Next show,
And that's a good song too.
barring, other developments that may keep me from practicing enough, is going to be our all request show. We did
Yes.
collect enough requests from our loyal viewers to put together an all request show. If you requested a song in the last few shows, you'll probably hear me butcher it next Sunday, or 2 weeks from today,
Yeah.
on April the 8th.
Goodness, beginning of April is coming
So
already.
that's going on. And note the crawler. You can still buy a copy of my Forever Friends CD if you haven't already done so. Guide Dogs for the Blind, or Southeastern Guide Dogs, and
Yes.
I would both appreciate it very much if you would go ahead and avail yourself of the opportunity of getting this classic recording that
It's beautiful. Don't let him kid you. It's wonderful. And we're giving the profits to Southeastern.
yeah,
Guide
all
Dogs,
of the
the-
proceeds, that's
Yes.
the price minus shipping.
Minus shipping. Yeah, I
Goes-
never say that right, but that's what I meant.
Okay. And if you can put a little something in our tip jar, our virtual tip jar, it is at autoharp.down.home on PayPal. Or you can go to autoharpdownhome.com on our website and click the donations link, which takes you to the same account. And if you can spare a buck or two, we'd appreciate it. If not, come back and see us anyway. We
Well, sure.
don't
We're
care.
very grateful
We're
for the
very grateful
donations
for
that
the
we
donations
have,
we do
yes.
get and that we have gotten. And if it weren't for you all, I would not be the 2022 Mountain Laurel Auto Harp Gathering champion,
No.
because you all sent me there, and I
Sadie had a
really
comment.
appreciate it. So I'm going to end with another John Denver song, but I'm going to change it up just a little bit. This auto harp taught me to sing a love song, showed me how to laugh and how to cry, introduced me to some friends of mine and brightened up some days, helped me make it through some lonely nights. Oh, what a friend to have on a cold and lonely night. This auto harp gave me my lovely lady, opened up her eyes and ears to me. It brought us close together, and I guess it broke her heart. Opened up a space for us to be. What a lovely place, a lovely space to be. This auto harp gave me my life, my living, all the things you know I love to do, to serenade the stars that shine from a sunny mountainside, most of all to sing my songs for you. Oh, I love to sing my songs for you. Yes, I do, you know.
Lavonda said, great show as usual.
Thanks,
Hope to
Lavonda.
catch the next one. And Ivan said, thoroughly enjoyed today's concert. It was good to hear Lynn singing too. Congratulations on your 5th year of concerts. I'm a year behind you and will probably never catch up. Well, Ivan, it's definitely worth listening to you whether you catch up or not.
Absolutely. And
Ivan Stiles is amazing.
yeah, and if you haven't already checked out his shows, he's on at 2 o'clock Eastern every Sunday afternoon.
Every Sunday.
For 157. This will be his 158th consecutive week without a miss. Iron Man.
Yes.
And I dread the day. I'll be happy for Ivan, but when his work picks back up, then he'll have to break his string. But in a way, I hope that happens real soon, especially because of all the things that have been happening around his place that have sucked away money. I'll be happy for him, but I'll sure miss those Sunday afternoon concerts for sure.
Nan said, great show, and appreciate that, Nan. And Flip said, well done, guys. And Phyllis said, and we love to listen. Hope your dog feels better soon. Thanks for the entertainment today.
Oh, you're all welcome. And
Ivan says, thanks, folks.
hey, anytime.
Yes.
I will leave you with the quote from the immortal Roy Rogers. Goodbye, good luck, and may the good Lord take a liking to you. Well, now it's time to say goodbye to George and all his kin. We'd sure like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back real soon to this locality to have a heaping helping of our hospitality. Down home style, that is. Set a spell. Take the shoes off. Y'all come back now here.
JHH said, thanks, George and Lynn. Nice porch concert. Glad to
Thank
have you
you,
with
sir.
us, JHH Lowen Guard. You guys have a great week.
Indeed. And we'll see you on the 8th of April.